Hey friends, Reagan here. I'm going to do a quick summary video to remind you or tell you about what we talked about on Sunday at youth group. Now, this past week, we kicked off the topic of love in our Known series. And as we broached the topic, something that we discovered is that it is very wide and nuanced. There's a lot to say about love in general, isn't there? But to even begin understanding love, the place that we need to look is Jesus as the perfect and ultimate example of love. Jesus' example of love is our foundation for all other kinds of love, whatever we'll experience in that area. Now, we read John 15, verses 9 through 12 together, which says, "As my Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I've told you this so that my joy might be in you and your joy might be complete. My command is this, that you love one another as I have loved you." So as followers of Jesus, we have this command to love each other as Jesus did. Well, that forces us to ask, how did Jesus love? And together on Sunday, we identified that Jesus loved by healing people, by feeding them, and by spending time with them. Jesus didn't spend his life seeking his own highest good. He didn't have the nicest things. He didn't sleep a lot, and he often went hungry. What we learn about love from this example is that love is selfless. Love is about the highest good of others, not of oneself. Love seeks the highest good of the object of our love, rather than ourselves. That would be selfish if it did. Now, the ultimate example that Jesus gives us of love is when he dies on the cross for our sins. Jesus ultimately, out of love, gives up his life for people like you and me. And what we learn about love from this example is that love is all about freedom. When we talk about the gospel, we often leave it at explaining Jesus died on the cross to save us from our sins, so that hell isn't part of our story and that we don't spend eternity apart from God. But the other part of the gospel is that we have been set free. Jesus both saved us from something and for something. We have been set free from the power of sin and death. And from that we know that love is all about freedom. As we talked about love as freedom, the other thing that we discussed is lust. Lust is ultimately driven by a desire to have something, to possess it. And so the difference between love and lust is that lust is all about possession, about filling a personal desire, whereas love is about freedom, as it seeks the highest good of the other. So my friends, that is a brief update and a brief reminder about what we talked about on Sunday. As you go forward throughout your weeks, or if you come back to this video a long time from now, may you remember that from the example of Christ we learn love is all about freedom.